Remember, please hit like and subscribe for me. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go. Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, February the 11th, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report. We are looking at charts by TrendSpider and gamma flows by Menther Q. I started with a SPY today because what we have is a very interesting shift in the gamma. So interestingly, I don't want to go through all the gobbledygook here, but interestingly, we have gamma flows. That's a very small number, but it is shifting negative here on the 22nd. There's really very little positioning that's negative all the way down until May. And then it's still largely positive in general. So here is the storyboard. Yesterday, the gamma flows shifted negative. The delta flows shifted negative by half as much, meaning those options were further out of the money, right? So the flows underneath are shifting negative today. That's the bottom line. Okay, let's take a look at SPY because we are starting with those gamma flows, and we can see that from yesterday, we still have this downward drift. Now, don't take what's going on underneath in those gamma flows as absolute writ of law. They are not. They're just how people are generally positioning. This could easily break and we move right back up into the top because the overall flows are largely positive. Do we have upward trend? Yes. We do have upward trend in general. The trend is upward. Where are we? We're sitting between value area high, 696, and value area low, 681. Inside of that value area is 685. That is the put wall. Call wall is still 700. What do we expect today? Flows being a little bit sideways. Take a look at where inventory had been accumulating. Right here in this box. And so we've fallen out of it into the flow of this inventory box. So my suspicion is the loss of 692 again will give us the dips into these lower edges, which gives us 688 as the next support zone. The anchored VWAP of 3 days ago is 687. Targets are a little bit tough today. I don't know what's going on I don't know what we have to be released in the news. I know we got a partial shutdown. No clue what's going to go on with there. This is generally sort of bullish flow after a fade, but we could go all the way to value area low if we are just grinding around here, which we could. We could simply just grind to and fro from one inventory box to another. We can see them sitting right up there. Okay, so that's the suspicion event. And indeed, if they sit in between here, they're going to build another box of inventory. So inside the value area, high-low, we're under the VWAP, and momentum is essentially flat. So we're just grinding our gears up here. I would say range-based formation. This looks like a day to, break out the knitting needles or just not trade at all. Not that I knit. I don't know why I say that. I don't knit. Okay, so let's take a look at the ES. We had a lot of setups, but only one trigger yesterday, and it was into the close. Now notice this very interesting thing. Let's take a look at just price action. We are inside value area high, low. We're dancing around the VWAP, so this is very sideways. There's a big box of accumulation. Demand beneath, right at the base of value area low. That's 69.22. Value area high, 7,000. That's pretty interesting. The call wall is up at 7,050. The 0DT put wall is 6,925. And the broad put wall is still 6,600. What's trend? Depends where you're looking, right? Near term, down. We've got the same wedge building in this framework. Got some kind of wedge building. And overall trend is generally upward. Could we move from one inventory pocket to another? Yes, we easily could. Inventory is kind of weird to look at here because the structure is not clean. But that's the base, starting at 69.48. What can we see the traders doing? Well, they are trying to buy these dips up, but the problem is they can't get higher. Supply keeps walking down. And so this drift, they've got to break through if they want bigger prices. Maybe they've given up on the 7,000. But here's the thing. If we spend a lot of energy trying to break through, and instead we break down, look at how much flow here. That's a lot of energy trying to hold this. And now we've got a break. My suspicion is downside, even though flow underneath has got a lot more call flow than put flow. This looks like it's got downward drift. And so until it breaks above 6,972 and stays there, I'm not going to consider this a bullish formation. I'm just going to say that it's generally grinding to the upside. Above this 69.72, bullish action. Below it, I think the bounces are sells. With the base at 69.21, I don't know if there's anything dramatic. It's something weird. El Paso Airport got shut down for 10 days. I don't know. Somebody let a virus out. I don't have any idea. So there's all kinds of weird stuff floating around the internet now. Who believes anything anymore? All I can believe is that I'm staring at my own face. And then some days, not even that. So that's what we're staring down for the E-mini S&P. Very cluttered. This is going to be a day to keep my hands largely off of the keys for the futures market. Or work in my options accounts, probably. All right, so we had a trigger. Same breakthrough at the end of the day. Fades. Comes into the opening day. We've broken above and below the 30-minute candle. And that's because the pressure of it is very, very tight. Now we know Wednesdays is particularly interesting for us to look at the midnight candle in the Qs. So let's take a look at these NQ midnight candles. Still holding in inventory, but the midnight candle is right here. So if we use a 1 hour formation, we have this box. So 70% of the time comes back to kiss that box during the trading day. We'll see. Doesn't look like there's a shot for that, but we'll see. Same sort of formation, trend down in between value area high, value area low, 25,450 value area high, 25,030 value area low, 25,000 is the put wall. That's moved up 500 points. The put wall was at 24,500. So big move up in the put wall for the Qs. I find that to be very interesting. Overall, the market is stabilizing because they're moving out of that primary 7. And now we've got about 20 of them that are holding the majority of the markets up. I suspect that's one of the reasons that the YM is holding the way that it is. So, could I draw a trend line here? I could, but I don't like anything there. This is not useful at all. What's the storyboard? Well, I think we have to use this midnight candle as our line in the sand. Let's use the base of it. That's going to give us 25,294.50. So that's going to be the alert. That's our above below, as it were. Above it, buyers take hold. Below it, sellers stay steady. The VWAP is below us, 25,150. The point of control is above us, 25,375. That would be the first target on the updraft if it breaches the midnight candlestick. Lots of supply below, lots of demand below, lots of supply above. Call wall, 25,400. Yeah. Quick peek at the YM. Oops. Holding a lot steadier. Sitting in the pocket. Very tight compression here. This could easily break out. See this super tight compression? No big selling. Starting to drift down. I still think this looks like a dip buying formation. Ideally, the point of control event, which is 50,100, would make a very nice alert space to go long in the YM. I think that's a pretty nice space. That feels like the above below, 50,200 above below. That means buyers will tend to be more aggressive above, sellers more aggressive below. Edges, 50,500 and 49,900. All right, let's take a look at micro Bitcoin. All right, as I mentioned, the holding pattern here at 70,000 is pretty critical for this chart. And wouldn't you know it, they broke it. So after all of that work, look at all of this work being done here, they lost the line. So what's the first thing traders are going to try and do is retake this base. Who knows if they'll be able to, but that's what they're going to try and do. Top of the value area high, 71,170. The VWAP, we're under the VWAP for the framework, 68,975. Value area low, 67,900. There's a strong gamma line at 6,600. But our above below today appears to be the 68,400 number. Above it, it holds steady. Below it, we've got sellers. Now, what are we staring down here? We've got an anchored VWAP from several days past at 66,000. They're trying to hold that zone, but we are under the VWAP, under the point of control, under the value area low. All of that's very bearish. So the reflexive bounces into 68, probably going to bring sellers in. Just my thought. Gravity suggests we are headed back to 64. Oil. Oil continues to rise, but not a surprise for me, as you know. This is a very bullish chart because of geopolitical unrest and an unwinding of the backwardation. They are continually unwinding that backwardation, and it is turning into contango. Are we above the call wall? Yes, above 65. I don't know what the gamma flow, whether it's positive or negative gamma in here. But what we do have is inventory accumulation for almost 2 days. almost 2 days, and a breakout. So what is this gigantic wick up, this candlestick up here? That's people saying, hey, I'm selling the top right here. I'm selling 65, and then kaboom. So that's a stop run. The next flow, lots of supply up here. So chances are it's going to come back, statistically speaking. Value area high, $64.50. Value area low all the way down at $63.25. That value area high is very likely the region that they're going to battle between the buyers and the sellers. Staying above that zone is going to be critical mass, but this is a stop run. We just had so many opportunities here, and the move out is sharp and steady. So very likely a stop run. Let's see what the measured move is. That's $66 for the next space. There's a gamma line up here at 67. That is probably GIX1. So very interesting. And this will be about to hit the pump. That is not going to make people happy, but it is what it is. Upward flow, dips or buys, folks. And they're going to be buys for a while. I mean, a while. Very big flows. Upside pressure. Next line in the sand, 66. A pullback to 64.60 collides with the VWAP more than likely, and that gives us another opportunity to hit the buy. Do we want to look at silver? Yeah, why not? Very, very choppy. Liquidity is a problem. Again, hey, overnight, China raised its margins for gold. They probably did it for silver too. They just didn't note that. But this is not good price action. I am not going to analyze that. Stay away from that, folks. See these gaps? That means there's no print there. You get in, you can be upside down $5,000 in a second, literally a second. All right. Breakaway, brand new highs. Very interesting about the margin being raised in China and that not affecting the price action here. Very interesting. Figured it would pull in a little bit, but no. That's why you let the charts tell you when your analysis is right or wrong. Let the charts do it. We can't figure it out without let's just stare down the charts. So very big accumulation space, 1, 2, 3 days on a breakout. Also largely a stop run here. Very big gamma wall at 5,100. Blew right through it. Value area high 5113. Value area low 4,978. That's a pretty wide 30-minute candlestick formation at the open. Pretty aggressive. Lots of supply sitting right in this pocket. And price action is very bullish. On the break, the dip is going to be important. Remember, that's what happens with these metals. They sharply break, and then they come back and retrace to a higher low. So don't chase this one long. Let it come to you. Where is the above below, as it were? Well, we're sitting just outside value area high, value area low. Point of control is at 50. It's at 5,051. The VWAP is at 5,025. God, what a mosh pit. Yeah. I would suspect that the zone, that's a 30-minute right there, but the zone of real contention is sitting very likely between 5,084 and 5,035. See the pullback? You see it all the time, folks. Rockets out of the range, traps all the people short at the top, traps all the people chasing the long, and then it pulls right back. So if you have deep pockets, it works for you all the time. If you don't, trouble at the door. Okay? So that's what we're seeing. If we want to amplify this, look, 5,200 call wall. Where's the put wall? Holy smokes, 4,700 put wall. That's big. That's far away, folks. It's really, really far away. They're hedged for any potential downside drift. Again, this could be a geopolitical move, but we are spending ourselves into oblivion. I just saw, I'll leave with this. I saw a note. I haven't read the details of it, so it might just be clickbait, and I did not click. But the cover said, Elon Musk says work in the future could be optional, money irrelevant with AI and robotics. I just want to know, who's going to pay for that AI and robotics if they aren't working? All right, that's it for me, folks. I will see you on the streams. I'm out at the office in the afternoon events, but we'll see each other soon. And good luck trading. It's messy. It's messy. Go light and tight today. Take care. Bye-bye.